Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm at a special on-site blue-collar boardroom episode with two of my favorite people, Chris and Cody Ranlett, man. Home field advantage. Thanks for the hospitality, dude. Man, this is an incredible place, dude.
What's up, brother? Good seeing you, man.
Good to
Always
see you.
good.
Nice to see you.
What's up? We had that white boy awkwardness handshake. Hey, look, we want to be cool and all. We want to be rapping and all, but in the end, we just white boys out here, okay? In the end here, we're guys that love to grow blue collar businesses, and in this episode what we're going to be talking about is overcoming tough times. Chris was all in during the last recession, and he has some great ways for a contractor to kind of overcome tough market conditions. If you're feeling down and out, if you feel like you've tapped out all of your credit lines, if you are counting on this third and fourth quarter to keep your business alive, you're going to get some incredible, impactful information from this man, because he went from feeling really extended during the last recession to a consistent 8-figure producer, and it's an incredible story. More importantly, we've got his son here, Cody, who is a young star in the business, man. So how long have you been doing this, Cody?
I've been doing it since I started knocking doors at probably 13, 14 years old, but I've done it full time for the past little over 2 years.
It's all in the family, and for me, it was like a blood sport growing up in the roofing business. There's a lot of similarities between me and Cody's story. It's almost like I'm talking to 10-year predecessor, and it's going to be really cool to talk about working with family. A lot of contractors have family in their business. But, Cody's recruiting on Instagram. Cody's helping build an employment brand. Cody's recruited 18 guys that are between the ages of 19, 25, door-to-door guys, and he's running a heck of a sales team. And we're also going to be talking about, implementing a commercial division. We've been on a blitz, a commercial sales blitz, a full contact run of a brand new hailstorm here in Maryland. And I want to give a little play-by-play on what we learned. And, Chris has been a retail company. He's had an insurance restoration company, and now he's opened the commercial division. We're going to talk about kind of how running this diversified playbook is really the best way to be alive. So that's a lot to talk about, man. You ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's rock and roll.
All right, so let's dive into the tough stuff, buddy. I mean, what happened last time whenever it was an economic recession?
So
your business started in 1990, so it was successful before the recession.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we talked about, we just celebrated 30 years in May, man. So it's huge. There's not a lot of us out there that's been around that long. But yeah, always dabbled in insurance restoration business, and in the late 90s, early 2000s, when everybody's equity of their homes values were going literally through the roof, that's when everybody was spending crazy money on retail. The kitchens and the additions and the bathrooms and the decks and master suite additions, and we capitalized on it. I was right there, and we grinded it out and did really, really well. Morphed it into the our showroom here in Baldwin, Maryland, and literally, like we were talking about earlier, we had jobs lined up, $100,000, $150,000 jobs lined up for 6, 8, 9 months. People were waiting in line for us to do the work, and then next thing you know, recession hit, and the phone just stopped ringing.
Dude, so when you put the money out, because you showed me some kitchens that you built, and you had new bills, and you had new employees, and you got payroll, for a lot of people, the jobs stopped. They didn't come back. There's a lot of cancellations. Now, for you've morphed. You do a lot of insurance. You had a recession-proof angle, so you really didn't get impacted by this COVID. Really, did you?
Nah, man.
You said that the guys were doing less drinking because the bars were closed. It actually helped your business.
We put up a couple record months.
So you put up record months during COVID.
Yeah.
Come on, man. How do you go from the last recession getting kicked in the teeth to this one, really kicking it?
I think a lot of it is, you and I are very similar, but, I've always preached, just get out there and grind it. We kid about, if you're broke, go out there and knock doors. If you don't have what you want, get out there and knock doors. We just watched a video about that, right?
Yeah.
But no, literally, that's what I did.
If your wife's pissed at you,
yeah,
go knock doors.
Exactly. And really, that's what I did. And much smaller company at that point than I am now. But I was an integral part of getting out there. I was the number one sales guy. I was the number one sales guy when I was doing the retail. I was the number one sales guy that literally put us back on the map. And that's when he was a kid. I had him knocking doors and me closing the deals. And we did the little father and son team for quite some time. You know, if I could try to get them to drop out of school so I could get them.
You know, that's the funny part. My dad did the same thing, and you know, that's where I learned the thrill of the kill. And you know, my mom, she's like, "You need to go to college. I want to be a roofer. You should be an architect." And you know, he made it through college. So this guy, he's got his head on his shoulders. I made it to about the first 6 months. I tell you, my mom, she sent me off. Okay, this is the real story. Okay, guys. So, you know, I almost didn't graduate high school. I wanted to hang around and party and wakeboard in my hometown, but they're like, "Get the fuck out of here. You cause too much problem with your parties and your excessive behavior." And so they sent me...
Shocker.
They sent me to college. First day I walk into architecture class, this guy, he pulls out this big old mound of cocaine. I'm like, well, I thought I'm here to learn. And he's like, "This is how we learn."
Oh, Lord.
Well, needless to say, I think I went to class about 12 times, and I got a .66 GPA. But I lasted about, half a semester. Good job on your 4-year degree.
Right on.
Well, I knew I could sell roofs, dude. Like, it was a party, and I was like, dude, this is stupid. And eventually, I just never went to class.
I get it. I'm the same way. I probably hard school knocks. Just hit the streets right after high school and struggled a little bit. And, thank God I learned a trade. And I grew up much like you, I grew up in a car business. My old man had a car lot. And, I always had the gift of gab. And my dad hustled, and I knew I would always hustle. So therefore, he never went to college. I'm like, he did all right. I guess I'll be okay too. And, got into the home improvement business, and here I am 30 years later. It's worked out.
So now you're making a name for yourself in the home improvement business. Tell me your
Trying
goals.
to.
Tell me how you're gonna make your own mark inside the shadow of Pops.
My biggest goal is pushing $100 million before I'm 30.
Oh, nice. That's a very clear goal.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's what I'm trying to. That's what I've got a lot of guys my age, if not a year older than I, on my team. That's our big goal is to do it before we're 30.
Nice. And so, going off to college, you stayed persistent and you stayed getting educated, which obviously shows that you followed through. But you also knocked doors in the summer too?
Yes.
And you just kept making money and
I did. I'd work for a month, make 30, 40 grand, then go back to school with it.
Nice. In Malibu?
Yes.
That's a hard place to leave. I guess I could have got better grades if I'd have gone to Malibu.
Yeah.
Hot girls?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, nice. So tell me about coming into the roofing business, man, and trying to prove yourself. What do you feel like is the hardest part about working with family and uncles in a part of the business too? So
yeah, definitely. Expected to be very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have 2 great role models around me. So just really looked up to them and try and really grow the system that they created.
Yeah. The really cool thing, my family struggled with sometimes going through the tough part in business, and my dad and my uncle didn't always stay together in business, and me and my dad, we have, but the truth is that in family, like I've worked with my aunt, I've worked with different people within my business. It's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
And y'all have a family environment here, so tell me a little bit about what you like most about working with family.
Really like it is it's a lot of times the way we bond. We have a mutual goal, and just being able to go out and chase that same goal every day, I think is both good for a business relationship, good for a personal relationship.
Yeah, and it's definitely a good retirement plan to have a son that wants to do $100 million.
Yeah, I mean, to have a little me,
ambitious son is nice.
To have a little me who's half my age and wants to go hit $100 million. I don't even know how many figures that is. If we're at 8, that's 9 figures. Yeah, so. Yeah, I think it's a great plan.
Yeah.
I mean, my whole thing though is you and I have talked about it, and he and I talk about it all the time. Is I'm not done. I want to be a part of this $100 million. I'm stepping back out of the sales role, but in doing that, I've been have enabled myself and enabled the company to be the general and to be on the forefront and, figure out this commercial deal. And it's not an easy deal to figure out my fire restoration division here, in the last year and figure out Florida and, be able to be on the forefront. So I'm setting systems and new stores and new opportunities for him to fill in, and that's worked out really, really well for us.
Well, you bring me to a good point. You got a fire and water, you got a commercial, you got Florida. Florida is a big investment. I got fined hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was breaking even.
Yeah.
And then
it's a tough market.
Then Irma hit.
Right.
And you're setting yourself up for a big play, but you can hire people in November. And before, it'd be hard to hire someone in November because you can send them to Florida to sell if you have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean this Northeast market, it's tough. Things slow down. Late November, December, January is tough, and it's still super cold in February. But no, we've lucked out. We have a very good pipeline up here. We get through the winter time. Yeah, it's a little thinner than second and third quarter. But as long as everybody does their job, Q1, 2, and 3, fourth quarter really isn't an issue.
And one of the things that I've noticed about this market in particular is that there's not very many people that are insurance restoration savvy.
Right.
There's not a lot of people that have big door-to-door sales teams. You cover a turf from Virginia to New Jersey, and so you got like in 5-6 hours of travel. So many homes, so many areas, so many little pockets. What do you like most about work? You've worked in Florida, you've worked in the Northeast. What do you like about working in the Northeast? And what do you like about having options?
I like the Northeast. There's a big portion of the Northeast that doesn't know that they deserve to get their roof paid for through their homeowners insurance. So it's really nice seeing just homeowners' reactions when you educate them that, hey, they have this legitimate storm damage and that their insurance company is obligated to pay to fix damages. So that's one of my biggest things is really just educating the homeowners to save them.
Well, I think another thing is like your Instagram and your growth and how you bring good talent. Like his 80% was what he said basically out of your people that you brought in as far as success rate. And why do you think your people are that you get mostly through your Instagram, right? Or
yes.
Social media?
Yes.
Why do you think there's such a high quality and so it's so efficient? Because look, there's a lot of different ways we could get a ton of recruits, but is that really the best use of time if your recruits are 80% effective? Why is that happening?
I think it's a lot to do with culture here. I think Instagram's good because it's a slow play with recruiting. They're not responding to first cool post they see. It's after it's hit them in the head twice a month for the past 6 months, sometimes a year. People have been just seeing what we're doing and they get more and more curious about it. So that when they finally are ready to take that step forward, they're committed.
Yeah, so if you want to be an influencer, you need to live an interesting life, and we don't really have to try hard for that.
You just have the camera phone.
You know how to party, okay? So do I. We all know it. All right, I've been married for 10 years. I've been, really, when I got in the business, I had to go free of drugs and alcohol for 2 years, and that was one of the best ways that I could get started in the business, and one of the biggest things that has held me back has been myself in the past. So how do you balance, work hard, play hard? And, as a leader, we're going to get into your generalship. You're very even kill. You've got everybody with their right roles. And I'm sure you've learned over the time how to go from salesman to being the boss and the leader. But one of the things that on Instagram is effective is the parties, the boats, the events. We're in the event business because we want to give people vacations. So tell us a little bit about this lifestyle, and if you're going to get to 100 million, what's that Cancun going to look like? What's that?
It's going to be a freaking blast.
Are you going to trade your boat up, or what's your boat going to look like at 100 million?
We'll see. I mean, the last one was an 80-foot catamaran in Mexico. So
oh my God.
We'll see what we get into.
You'll have to see his boat. You don't even know it. It's got 1,600 horsepower, and it's what's a midnight? What's it called?
It's a Midnight Express. It's a go fast boat.
It's a go fast, and for most of you, would make you want to go home because it is not for the meek or the weak-hearted. You have to sell a lot of roofs and a lot of jobs to
That's
put
true
just the gas in that thing.
Yeah.
How many fuels per?
If you're
per
worried
hour?
about any of that, you ain't buying that fucking boat. I can tell you that.
Well, what about the yacht? Why
So-
you got two boats?
Yeah, so we got the big boat up north, the Azimuth 55 Azimuth, and same thing, man. That thing blows 50 gallons an hour. So if you're worried about the fuel consumption, it's not for you.
So you got the real estate in Florida, real estate here, office here. Tell us a little bit about how to, grow all this, because it seems like you have a succession plan, you have a system, and you have this blue collar American dream. So in leading people, how do you kind of, because you seem to have that. Sometimes you can rule with the iron fist, or you can use a velvet hammer. You seem to have that velvet hammer.
Right.
How do you do that? What's your secret sauce?
Honestly, I think it's 30 years, so probably when I was closer to your age, I was probably more of that fist. and now I've become more of that velvet hammer.
Well, help me not be so much of a fist, okay? Help.
Yeah, I think it's systems. Like Cody said, culture. Culture's huge, and literally, I know the biggest game changer for me is when I was able to take myself out of the sales role. Because when you're you're number one sales guy or whatever, you're doing everything and running a company. And
they get mad at you because it's their time, and they're competing against you.
Yeah.
And even in your role, do you go in there and from time to time sell your own deals around?
I sign deals. I give them all away though.
See, that's realistically, long term, the most buy-in and commitment that drives the team long term. And over the short term, you might say you might make more money selling your own deals, but over the long term, you have a book of business. You have how many sales guys selling for you? 20 sales guys, and hopefully those guys this year do 10 million. Right, that's the goal, something like that. Right.
Yes.
All right, and the bottom line is that we're just going to incrementally grow on that, because the way you're recruiting, you're going to continue to get quality people, and it's all going to be based off of the network, and it's going to be off the people that you've kind of connected to already done. So you've done some recruiting events, the 30-day recruiting challenge. So talk to me a little bit about how that was worked for you and what you were able to do, because a lot of people, they don't do that. They don't actually do the event.
It worked really good. Got leads from all over on new recruits, Facebook, Instagram, a lot of word of mouth. Get a good group of people in a room and sit down for about an hour and 15 minutes and just talk about what we do. It's a lot of times, I'd say almost every time, it's the first time people even hear about our industry. Mm-hmm. So really explain what we do, and they're like, how haven't we heard about it? How can we join it? And then from that, we have I'd say probably about a 70% recruiting rate to, hey, they would like to take a position with the company.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Everybody wants to know, how do you get the top talent? How do you have the success rate at onboard them? It's a culture of door-to-door. You said he's always keeping the pipeline filled. Mm-hmm. So as a leader, you want somebody that is willing to invest his time and personal energy for the whole thing, for that $10 million number.
Right.
But how does he continue to keep that pipeline filled up?
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is, we coined this year grind to shine. One of our main guys in Florida came up with it, and we always talk about hustle and work hard, play hard. But he actually does it. You and I were talking a little bit about it last night, and he is in a position as a manager, as a leader in the company, but he leads by example. He's the owner's son. He's got a target on his back. He can easily say, "Oh, well, that's the owner's son. He has this because of this, and he's there." Well, guess what? He outworks, that I've seen, almost everybody in the company. Mm-hmm. And he's out there, and if any of his sales guys are struggling, he's out there knocking doors, setting those leads up, and signing those deals for them, so they can't fail. If they get an extra 3 or 4 deals, mm-hmm. and they're going to make another $4,000 or $5,000 that month, they only got to get 1 or 2 more deals, mm-hmm. and guess what? They're a stud. Mm-hmm. At least in our corporation. And he does it in 4 different states. Heck, when we had a big storm, he went to a couple of those new guys down in Florida, down at Orlando storm. Yeah. Set them up, same thing. He was out there knocking with them. So he leads by example, and he literally spreads out the wealth. Make sure each one of his teams, and he has managers underneath them that replicate the same actions.
So it's always like saying, what's more fun, catching the fish or teaching a man to fish? And
exactly.
Does that make you proud watching that happen?
Absolutely, man? Absolutely. I couldn't be more proud of them.
I'm telling you, man. And, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And I'm honored to be a part of the journey. What I'm really, really blown away by is your open-mindedness with all your success. A lot of roofing contractors that have done the millions of dollars in business, the thousands in projects, they're not always trying to get better.
Right.
They're not always comfortable with, even giving him an opportunity to grow and make his own part within this. So, you've shown that you're not only willing to do that, but work even with your brother.
Right.
Who's got his own. He used to run a car lot before he was in the roofing business.
Yeah,
so he's a natural. Years. Y'all are all hustlers.
That's what we do. We're sales guys.
You need to learn sales from these guys. If you're out there looking for a mentor, Duran Letts are the kind of people that you want to take advice from.
Well, thank you.
The most important thing though is that you show up to the coaching calls, you make the video content. You, who are obviously having lots of success anyways, you could just have him do it. But it's you setting the example. And now I think that it's carrying the torch. You going all in and implementing the commercial, implementing the marketing, and continuing to scale your recruiting efforts. And you know what? Push it into uncomfortable. Get to the point where you're bringing in so many people that it's uncomfortable to you. Because the comfortable recruiting at 80%. The one thing I can tell you about those numbers is that it's an amazing number, but you always want to push it a little bit harder than that. Because you want to be getting a little bit more rejection and fallout. Because it shows you're not doing enough.
Definitely.
And that's what I was talking about. You got your organic recruiting cycle, but we want to do all the paid, the people that come from the paid ads, like when Mike would do a video. What we're going to do is we're going to take the video testimonials from all the sales reps. We're going to send it in a follow-up email sequence.
Right.
Everybody that applies is going to go to a funnel, and they're going to have a video. And one of the videos they're going to get followed up on is the tour of your office we just did.
Right on.
Another video is going to be maybe this interview. Another video is going to be maybe the first podcast. But we're going to get testimonials. It's going to bring reality to the business. And all these leads, all these people that kind of applied. For instance, what happened one time was a young guy saw the videos, saw the testimonial, and he responded to the ad and then drove to the house from Jupiter from Orlando that night and spent the night in the house, showed up in a suit, did an interview, and was knocking doors the next day.
Nice.
Just because he got all fired up by all the testimonial videos.
He needs to be a part of it.
Yeah, and essentially, I haven't completely built that system with you yet. Mm-hmm. All we've done is mastered the videos. All we've done is done the recruiting challenge. So there's a whole second wave of implementing a sales funnel, automated follow-up, and then really kind of taking this, digital door knocking to the next level, which brings me to the next subject. I mean, did you actually think that Facebook would work in the beginning? Did you think that would work?
Well, yeah. I mean, I believed you,
mm-hmm.
And I watch a lot of things on Facebook, and all kinds of roofers, nationwide that are either advertising or taking advantage of it, and everybody's like, yeah, it works.
But it's harder than they say it is.
It's a lot harder than they say it is, and literally even with you, I mean, we did not have great results. We tried it on our own before you,
right,
with 0 results,
right.
And then when we got with you, the results were a little slow, and I gave you a call. You took my call, said, hey, we got to get on this. We got with Alejandro, figured out what the matrix was, and literally within 3 or 4 days, they went open up the floodgates, and you guys killed us with leads, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So
this is
it's a game changer.
This is why I don't handle all the paid ads, even though I know how to set up the paid ads. Someone handling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's his job. And,
right.
And realistically, what we do in the Elite program is we want to teach you how to create your own content, but we want to provide a support system that we actually can make sure your campaigns are running and that they're
right.
running the correct way and that there's no mistake, like the targeting might be too small, or you may just need to change the video ad. So the main thing is that we do a weird combination of services where we're helping with marketing, where I do like coaching calls, and where I have a video training for people that help train salespeople. How do you quantify the ROI out of those 3 things? Like how what have you seen? Like,
I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer for me, especially this at this point where we're at. I mean, we added 10 or 12 reps this year. We need automated training. We need more leads. We need more coaching. I can't do all of it myself.
Right.
Just like you just said, you have to hire people to do things.
Right.
Well, we had to hire you to help us do it because we can't do it,
right.
All by ourselves. So it's, I can't put a price tag on it. I know just with the commercial results getting us into that arena and coupled with the Facebook leads that we got. I never had any Facebook leads. We got $400,000 worth of work in a couple months.
Right.
So there took you. So you're.
I want $4 million though. I want to get you $4 million. Like.
Well, I certainly do.
And I'm driven to get those kind of results because the 400,000. I mean, that's good, but
yeah,
them door-to-door guys, his 18 door-to-door guys. They're 80% sticking that are selling 500,000 a piece.
Right on.
That's how we're going to get there too. And so the video, the employment brand. How do you think y'all social media? You're the social media guy. How has your social media brand improved over the last little bit?
I think it's just consistency. I've really focused the beginning of the year to start posting on Instagram again. I know a couple of our other top reps, some of our team leads, they've taken it upon themselves to start posting just what we do with events and just even some work-related videos. And I know it's really generated a lot of interest and just consistency between me posting more regularly and all the other guys, all encompassing posting. I think it's really just it's too much to fake.
People don't understand that it's a team effort, and then when your sales guys are posting and the owners are posting, but you have like 20 people posting organically, everyone's Instagram. These people are 6 degrees within separation. These are good people, and that's why the more video content, and that's why even you creating awesome stories and awesome photos and awesome captions, getting more and more of that video, getting more vulnerable, pushing yourself to create more content like we're creating now. And that's a lot of times what I help people do is get comfortable on video, get disciplined to make video. And I was even telling Shelby, she's the one that can help do the content calendar. And she's good at this order. And all we have to do is put her in charge of it and put the dates of when we're going to do it and just keep the calendar going, and we'll keep the lead cost down. We'll keep the recruits coming in. We'll keep the whole funnel moving. And, the long game with me is that, I get to hopefully, help get you to 100 million and be responsible for, 30% of that business.
Definitely.
So I'm honored to be a part of this. And, final message, there's people out there working together, families out there working together, and business partners to work out there. You got a lot of business partners. I think the main thing is you're a really good business partner. And what do you have to say to someone that's managing conflict or that's trying to get a goal and people aren't doing, because no one really works as hard or sells as good as you do. I mean, does that frustrate you from time to time? Sometimes I get a little frustrated.
I think all three of us set the bar really, really high. I'm just super blessed. I have a son that doesn't take any of this for granted. I mean, yes, I have it started. It's a successful business. I think what he's been able to see, though, is he has seen that roller coaster ride. And I think it has scared the shit out of him. And he's like, where it's going good, let's keep our foot on the gas pedal. And none of us ever want to go through that tough time again. So we are very like-minded like that, just like you. You and I have talked about that of like, you have your goals of where you want to be, and I have my.
You want an airplane.
I want an airplane too.
I don't
have a fucking airplane.
I want the damn airplane.
I need one.
Okay. I could be home. I could I've been on the road. Come on.
I mean, I got a couple boats, but I don't have an airplane.
I know, me neither,
right?
Man.
But no, man, it's just it's not easy to work with family. I'm blessed with him. I'm blessed with my brother Kevin. He and I are both like-minded. And same thing, we've been through on that roller coaster ride before, and we know we never want to be at the bottom of that hill again. And whatever it takes, we're going to keep on cranking it out.
Look, man, anything's possible if you do the work. Keep putting one foot in front of another. The thing about entrepreneurs, you got to have tolerance for uncertainty, tolerance for the pain of the hard work, tolerance for actually carrying everybody's hopes, dreams, future on your back. You have to want that role. It's like, do you want the ball at the end of the game?
Absolutely.
And there's some people that really don't want that. And for those people,
they ain't in this room.
They ain't in this room. All right, guys. It's been for an awesome episode of the Blue Collar Boardroom. Hey, how can these guys get in touch with you if they want to hit you up about working with you, or they're in the Northeast? What areas are you located?
So yeah, we're in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Virginia, Central Florida, soon to be Southern Florida. Reach out to us, either chrisconstruction.com. What's your Instagram?
Instagram's Cody Randlett, Kody Randlett, Randlett. Feel free to message me or reach out if you have any questions.
Guys, we've got another epic YouTube episode. If you enjoyed this episode, watch the tour of their office. We're going to go through each part of their office, interviewing each one of their people, and click that link right there and make sure you subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.